Mnangagwa took over?
Well, things have changed for the worse. In fact, if anything, Mr. Mnangagwa is proving that Mr. Mugabe was in fact not as bad as what we are going through. People are regretting why we now have this Mr. Mnangagwa, who seems to be far worse a version of dictatorship than Mr. Mugabe. We have had more arrests, we have had more human rights abuses, we have had treason charges for the leadership of the democracy activism and also for the civic society and political opposition in the country. That shows you that we are actually regressing and going back, receding in terms of democratic order in the country.
Nelson Chamisa, thank you for joining us on World Update, the leader of the MDC. If there are further developments, of course, we'll bring them straight to you from Harare. The Iranian Foreign Ministry has denied that any promise was made that the tanker impounded by British Royal Marine 6 weeks ago would not deliver any cargo to Syria. Gibraltar's Chief Minister, Fabian Picardo, said he'd received assurances from Iran the ship wouldn't be sent to any destination subject to EU sanctions. The Grace 1 was seized because Britain received intelligence that the ship was heading for a Syrian oil refinery, but the Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman said there had been no deal. Let's talk to our diplomatic correspondent, Jonathan Marcus, on the line. Also, the US has been saying that it should have had the chance to continue the detention of the Grace 1, Jonathan. So where are we with this?
Not that much further forward. I'm just looking at the ship tracking data at the moment. The Grace 1 remains at anchor off Gibraltar. Clearly a crew is having to be got together, but as far as the Gibraltarian authorities are concerned, the ship is free to go. The Americans, I suppose, as long as it is there, still have time to put in some kind of legal claim to the courts in Gibraltar. It's extremely vague what the United States' claim is, other than the fact that they want the vessel apparently handed over to them. Very little detail has been given about that. The Americans clearly believe that the ship should continue to be detained, but the Gibraltarian authorities say there is no legal basis for that. So we're kind of waiting to see what happens. When will it actually set sail? And once it actually moves away from Gibraltar's waters into international waters, what might possibly happen then?
And in particular, what might happen to the Stena Impero, that British flag tanker that was seized in the waters off Iran? What do we know about that?
Well, again, the Iranians this morning have been saying that that is entirely a matter for the judicial authorities in Iran. There is a kind of, I suppose, parallelism here. The release of the Grace 1 was as a result of the a decision by the courts in Gibraltar. So Iran is, posing as a country which has exactly the same kind of regulations, routines, procedures, and so on. Now, one assumes that the release of the Grace 1 was a necessary precursor to the eventual release of the Stena Impero. But clearly this US intervention has muddied the waters somewhat, and at the moment there seems no indication yet that the Stena Impero similarly will be released. The British government, of course, insists that there is no comparison between the two seizures. One, they insist the Gibraltarian one was legal, the Iranian one, they insist, was illegal. But I don't think we're going to see any movement on the Stena Impero, certainly not until the Grace 1 is underway and back out in international waters.
Jonathan, thank you. Jonathan Marcus, our diplomatic correspondent, trying to make sense of what is still a very unclear situation, and including whether there was any promise by the Iranian authorities that the Grace 1 would not be going anywhere near Syria. You're listening to World Update from London. Coming up later on our programme, we'll report from Austria, which has another election in September after the collapse of the coalition between the Conservatives, led by Sebastian Kurz, and the far-right Freedom Party. But will Mr. Kurz manage to win without support from the far right?
A nightmare for Sebastian Kurz would be the scenario where he's forming a new coalition with the Freedom Party, and then the whole thing falls apart again. And there is a pretty good chance that this might happen again. And this would mean for him that his image is also gone.
More on that coming later. Our headlines: North Korea has rejected any further talks with South Korea. Of calling its decision completely the fault of the South. A state-owned English-language newspaper in China has said that if Beijing steps in to end pro-democracy protests in Hong Kong, there will not be a repeat of what happened in Tiananmen Square. And bewilderment in Denmark at reports that President Trump would like to buy Greenland. This is the news from the BBC. And this is Dan Damon in London. 4 years ago, Lampedusa's bulging migrant reception centre became an EU hotspot, as it was called, a quick turnaround facility that would register, fingerprint and identify all asylum seekers who arrived on the island before speedily transferring them to centres on the mainland, and there they would wait for their claims to be processed. But last year, part of Lampedusa's facility had to be shut down temporarily after migrants protesting about conditions there set fire to buildings and staged a hunger strike. Meanwhile, the populist Italian Deputy Prime Minister Matteo Salvini has been closing some of the big reception centres on the mainland. That makes it more difficult to transfer migrants. In the last now of her special reports, Emma Jane Kirby, who was on the island when the hotspot was first opened, has returned to find out what's been going on and what migrants arriving in Lampedusa today can expect.
It's the early morning here in Lampedusa, and I'm watching a boat full of tourists pull into port. 4 years ago, when I was here, boats carrying rescued migrants would arrive 3, maybe 4 times a day. Almost 181,000 migrants arrived by sea to Italy that year. Those massive numbers prompted the EU to transform Lampedusa's reception centre into a hotspot as a way to speed up the processing of asylum requests and assist Italy cope with the burden of the migration crisis. Standing right on this spot as we watched migrants disembarking, I remember Ramon Buthi from the EU's border force Frontex telling me confidently that the hotspot would smooth all the processing hiccups.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Are you looking to deliver that urgent package? And intact Connect Time Logistics guarantees reliable, fast, secure and time-sensitive door-to-door delivery services across Ghana, Africa and indeed worldwide. Our services include air and sea cargo, vehicle shipping and excess baggage. Connect Time Logistics has a specialized and dedicated customer service team to ensure prompt delivery to your door. Call our London office
+44 208 291 7575 or +44 208 858 6600.
Book online at www.connect-ta.com. Connect Time Logistics, connecting the dots in worldwide professional delivery services.
What's the hidden truth or mysteries behind the supernatural? Do angels really exist today? Is healings and miracles real? Can I hear the voice of God? What's their inspirations and challenges in ministry? Can my eyes be open to see beyond the natural? Can I operate in the gifts of the Holy Spirit? Can my dreams contain messages from God? My Journey is your one-stop destination to the supernatural on Starr Radio UK. Join your host, Captain Tete, this and every Saturday from 4 p.m. on My Journey, your one-stop destination to the supernatural.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Ubedi sa Charlie.
Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie and Regina on the Family Enrichment Programme on Starr Radio UK. This and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing
people's secrets. Don't be a busybody.
And some people. Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Program brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Program this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Starr Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Download our app in iTunes and the Google Play Store.
What's the hidden truth or mysteries behind the supernatural? Do angels really exist today? Is healings and miracles real? Can I hear the voice of God? What's their inspirations and challenges in ministry? Can my eyes be open to see beyond the natural? Can I operate in the gifts of the Holy Spirit? Can my dreams contain messages from God? My Journey is your one-stop destination to the supernatural on Starr Radio UK. Join your host, Captain Tete, this and every Saturday from 4 p.m. on My Journey, your one-stop destination to the supernatural.
You can't always be in control of what happens on the road, but you can control the tires you ride on. Thanks to Champon Tires, in testing condition, you are guaranteed of traction and grip, be it new or partly worn tire. Champon Tires are the largest import and exporters of tires in the UK. Located all over the UK. For Wakefield, contact us on 01924 262 043. Selby, Rotherham, Hull, and Birmingham, contact us on 01709 380-615, or you can visit us at www.champontires.co.uk. Champon Tires, safe when new, safe when partly worn.
I know. So improve but degree. Okay, what about so but degree? No one you secret your fees. Exciting, huh? Yes. Stay your first degree and now masters. UK abai betimi amal grant and now scholarship and financial support. Now they are school about degree. Our courses be bremu. UK degree and masters fully sponsored. Tie UK abai betimi amal up to £21,000 every year. Now they are school fees about degree. So how do you go about it? A simple cry. Gem Educational Consultants ever born with your application. Now also what to me and your sassy KB. Now what your degree. So British passport, indefinite, and now EU passport, 18 and now 55 years. When so to me and your sassy KB. Now what your degree. Even for first degree, no. Apart from say we be up to £21,000, no. I buy bet your school fees near the end, you know amount. Any for 07904793019 or visit us at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch, RM12 4RE. Email pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Mesika nefetia wo fees, but degree.
All I can see, sometimes.
Listen to Regina Abban and Lady Caroline every Monday from 5 to 6:30 p.m. on Point at Starr Radio UK, where we educate the youth and young adults on life issues.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Are you looking to deliver that urgent package? And Intact Connect Time Logistics guarantees reliable, fast, secure, and time-sensitive door-to-door delivery services across Ghana, Africa, and indeed worldwide. Our services include air and sea cargo, vehicle shipping, and excess baggage. Connect Time Logistics has a specialized and dedicated customer service team to ensure prompt delivery to your door. Call our London office
+44 208 291 7575 or +44 208 858 6600.
Book online at www.connect-ta.com. Connect Time Logistics, connecting the dots in worldwide professional delivery services.
What's the hidden truth or mysteries behind the supernatural? Do angels really exist today? Is healings and miracles real? Can I hear the voice of God? Was there inspirations and challenges in ministry? Can my eyes be open to see beyond the natural? Can I operate in the gifts of the Holy Spirit? Can my dreams contain messages from God? My Journey is your one-stop destination to the supernatural on Starr Radio UK. Join your host, Captain Tete, this and every Saturday from 4 p.m. on My Journey, your one-stop destination to the supernatural.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. We beg you, sir, Charlie.
Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie and Regina on the Family Enrichment Programme on Starr Radio UK. This and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing
people's secrets. Don't be a busybody.
And some people. Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Program brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Program this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Starr Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Download our app in iTunes and the Google Play Store.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
all around the world. In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile. If you just smile. Hey, this is Archie, and you are listening to Starr Radio UK.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, no. Welcome to Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Today is Friday, the 16th day of August 2019. And it is the Friday edition of the morning show on no other radio station but then for Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Of course, those of you on other planets as well, I salute you all. Let me say good morning to my colleague who presents Mr. Frank Davis, who is in the background doing some technical duties there today. To Mr. Laimi Koiki, our international correspondent who will be bringing you updates from Nigeria. And then morning to Mr. Dante Brisi of GR Accountancy Services, who also be coming your way with the money hour. You want some money in your pocket? You gotta listen to Mr. Dante Brisi exactly at 12:30. But let me say morning to my HRH Linda Pellion all the way in Cyprus. Linda, good morning to you. Actually, a good morning also goes to Mr. Mike DeLeon. Wherever you are, Big Mike, massive good morning to you. I hope you are feeling better and doing better. To Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, man of God, thank you very much. I salute you and I bow. Thank you for your support each day. My brother Felix all the way in Aberdeen. Felix, good morning. To my apostle himself, brother HB, massive good morning to you, sir. And to Auntie Mary, Mrs. Mary Bruce, mom, good morning to you. To the Tabiris, Mr. Tabiri, Mrs. Evelyn Tabiri, Ajwa, Abna, Asida and Inshira, and the family back in Ghana. It's a massive good morning to you all. Hey, to HRH Abiola, wherever you are, good morning. Oh, how, buddy? To Mr. Malik Dramani Mahama, massive good morning to you, sir. And let me say hello, hello, and good morning also to Mr. Kofi Ali, Ambassador Large for ECOWAS. And like it is said, okay, Dr. Morton, wherever you are, massive good morning to you as well. Captain Felix Techer as well, say massive good morning. Hope you are doing good. To all my Caribbean listeners, Wagwan. Okay, time for the 2 is the time, and it's Starr Radio UK. It is a Friday edition of the morning show, so let's crack the whip and keep moving. Now for the quote for the day, it says, to meet the challenges of this era and succeed, you must have principles and values that make you a person that other people and society need. Let me take it again. To meet the challenges of this era and succeed, you must have principles and values that makes you a person that other people and society need. That is by way of the code for the day. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So I'll be moving on to the weather forecast, then to the travel update as well. Then at 11 o'clock exactly, we have Mr. Laimi Koiki joining us. But now let me quickly take you to the weather front. Let's see what it is in store for us today and over the weekend. My apologies, I think I need a cup of tea. Innit? Haha. So by way of the weather forecast, it says that a cloudy and largely dry start, but outbreaks of rain will spread from the west through much of the day. Now some heavy and thundery spells are expected along with strong southwesterly winds. Now when it comes to tonight, a rather wet start to the night with outbreaks of rain continuing. This will gradually clear to the east through the night with clear spells developing through the early hours. Top temperature is going to be 19 degrees, the lower is going to be 16 degrees. Pollen level is going to be low, UV level is going to be low, pollution is going to be low as well. Sunset 2022 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 05:47 hours. Well, that brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you today. But my producers have said I needed to touch on the weekend weather. For Saturday, top temperature is going to be 12 degrees, 22 degrees. The lowest is going to be 13 degrees. A mixture of cloud and sunshine. Same Sunday, 21 degrees. The lowest 12 degrees. Mixture of sunshine and cloud. But now let me take you to the roads. Let's see what is happening on the roads. Of course, keep your eyes on the roads. Yeah, so keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads, and we'll keep you navigated. I promise I'll on the Starr Radio UK travel update that comes your way every weekday from 10:45. Okay, so on the underground this morning, Bakerloo Central, Circle District, Hammersmith and City, Jubilee, Metropolitan, Northern, Piccadilly, Victoria, Waterloo and City lines are all in good service. Now when it comes to London Overground, there's good service, TFL Rail, good service, DLR, good service, London Tramlane, good service there as well. But you know what? Keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I will keep you navigated. I promise I'll on the Starr Radio UK travel update that comes your way every weekday from 10:45. Now moving on to the river bus. Still reduced service on the Woolwich Ferry. Apart from that, RB1, RB1X, RB2, RB4, RB5, RB6 are all in good service. Keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. And we keep you navigated. Starr Radio UK and your travel update every weekday from 10:45. Now on the National Rail this morning, cross country has got minor delays. Grand Central, minor delays. Great Northern, minor delays. London Northeastern Railway, minor delays. ScotRail Special Service, Southeastern, minor delays. Southern, minor delays. Thameslink, minor delays. But stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. And continue to keep your eyes on the roads. You know what you can do? You can share with us what is happening on your roads, on your travels, wherever you are. You could be in Calcutta, India. You could be in Cape Town, in South Africa. You could be in where? Timbuktu, in Burkina Faso, wherever. Share with us on your travels what is happening, because we've got worldwide listeners. But it is Starr Radio UK. Now on the A roads in London, A10 has got closures, A12 closures, A20 closures, A23 closures, A4 closures, Central London route, Red Routes closures, South Circular A205 closures, A2 serial delays, A3 serial delays, A41 serial delays. If you can avoid them, please feel free, do so. If not, continue to stay tuned and listen to us on Starr Radio UK, and we'll keep you posted as and when there are any changes there. Now on the A4 Finchley Road, both directions at the junction of the Fairfax Road, lane 3 of the road is being closed. Well, but like I said, keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads. We'll keep you navigated. I promise, our bond. On that note, let me say good morning to you. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Keep those eyes on the roads.
Are you looking to deliver that urgent package and intact? Connect Time Logistics guarantees reliable, fast, secure, and time-sensitive door-to-door delivery services across Ghana, Africa, and indeed worldwide. Our services include air and sea cargo, vehicle shipping, and excess baggage. Connect Time Logistics has a specialized and dedicated customer service team to ensure prompt delivery to your door. Call our London office
+44 208 291 7575 or +44 208 858 6600.
Book online at www.connect-ta.com. Connect Time Logistics, connecting the dots in worldwide professional delivery services.
What's the hidden truth or mysteries behind the supernatural? Do angels really exist today? Is healings and miracles real? Can I hear the voice of God? Was there inspirations and challenges in ministry? Can my eyes be open to see beyond the natural? Can I operate in the gifts of the Holy Spirit? Can my dreams contain messages from God? My Journey is your one-stop destination to the supernatural on Starr Radio UK. Join your host, Captain Tete, this and every Saturday from 4 p.m. on My Journey, your one-stop destination to the supernatural.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors, and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Ubedi sa Charlie.
Well, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 10:51 from the hearts of London, and it is the morning show. Of course, I am the one and only Archie on Starr Radio UK. Nobody does it better. Okay, so that is for your information. I'm Archie here this morning, bringing you or serving you breakfast. What about that? That's my well program outline. For those of you who just joined us, I'll be bringing you Mr. Olaimi Koiki exactly at 11 o'clock with updates from Nigeria. I'll be touching on some of them. And then after that, we'll go on across the globe to review all the news that is making the rounds there. But this morning, there is something that I want us all to have a look at. Knife crime, chicken box campaign. Knife crime, chicken box campaign. Some think it is being racist. Some think it is targeting blacks. Something. But when you look at these occurrences and the fact that it's more predominant, if you don't agree with me, when the lines are opened, I will let you bring your take. But we see that it's more predominant in the black community, then why don't we target the places where we know that these black our community is, or places that we normally will go to, so that the targeted audience will receive the message that is being put across? Okay, what is wrong with that? We've got some people in the black community saying, no, that's not right. Means that we go to the fast food chains and all that stuff to go, but that is not what we're looking at here. I don't know, but that is a school of thought. I don't know what you think. I'll be opening the lines for us to bring our minds on this. But now, let me just bring you my first carefully selected choice of song. It's a Friday one. I want you to just put on your dancing shoes and, hey, dance to the glory of God. This is from Joyful Way Incorporated, a praise medley. Enjoy it. I'll be with you in a jiffy.
Are you ready to praise Jesus? Are you ready to praise Jesus? Hey!
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
In the auditorium, okay?
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Tell somebody,
Welcome.
look at me. See what the Lord has done. Everybody look, see what the Lord has done for me. Everybody look, see what the Lord has done for me. Everybody look, see what the Lord has done for me. Everybody look, see what the Lord has done for me. Everybody look, see what the Lord has done for me. Everybody look, see what the Lord has done for me. Everybody look, see what He has done. Everybody look, see what the Lord has done. I said, everybody look, see what the Lord has done. Everybody look, see what He has done. Everybody look, victory. That's why we sing. Oh, say yeah.
What the Lord has done, He has destroyed
The works of Satan.
He has given us the victory. That's why we say, oh, say yeah.
Have you heard what the Lord has done? He has destroyed the works of Satan. He has given us the victory. That's why we sing. Oh, say yeah. Hey!
What the Lord has done, He has destroyed the works of Satan.
He has
Given us the victory.
Are you dancing?
That's why we say,
Come on, let's do this together. Oh, say yeah. We know, we know.
oh, say yeah.
Oh, say yeah.
oh, say yeah. oh, say yeah.
Oh, say yeah.
oh, say yeah. oh, say yeah.
Oh, say yeah.
oh, say yeah. oh, say yeah.
Awesome God, mighty God, awesome God. I like that dance. Mighty God, we give you praise. Awesome God, we give you praise. Mighty God. Let's sing it again. Awesome God.
Awesome God,
Mighty God,
mighty God,
awesome God,
awesome God,
mighty God.
mighty God, we give you praise. Awesome God,
A special dedication to Mrs. Evelyn Tabiri all the way in Ghana. I know it's one of your favorite tunes. I hope that you are dancing to it, bracing yourself with the heat. But hey, what about that? Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So good morning to my lovely wife Lottie, wherever you are. Good morning to you.
Awesome God, mighty God, awesome God, mighty God.
we give you praise. Awesome God,
We give you praise.
mighty
Awesome God,
awesome God, mighty God,
awesome God,
mighty God, we give you praise. Awesome God, we give you praise.
Are you ready?
You are highly lifted up.
Wave your handkerchief.
Awesome
Wave
God,
your handkerchief.
you are highly lifted up. Mighty God,
You are
highly lifted up. Awesome God, you are highly lifted up.
one more time. You are
Highly lifted up. Awesome God, you are highly lifted up. Mighty God.
Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, what a morning, wherever you are. Let me say good morning to one other special person who joined us, CP Sky Boy.
mighty God. Let's sing it again. Awesome God,
If you want the video clip of this music, the way the dancers are doing something like that, giving praise to the Almighty God, you can also be doing that in your own confines. Listening to Star Radio UK, what more can you ask for?
let's do this.
Empress Regina, Lady C. That's Lady Caroline. Merciful Vessel, wherever you are, massive good morning to you. Simeon Frazier. Mr. Dave West, massive good morning to you. Hope you are doing very good. If you're listening to us this morning, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Starr Radio UK, the morning show is on. But I want to beg of you a massive favor. Subscribe to our page, our YouTube page, our YouTube channel, let me put it that way. And invite your friends to also do the same. And there's a package that we're bringing your way pretty soon. I will let you know. But let me say good morning to the Hammonds, the Betuels all the way in Ghana and across the globe. Saluta. Can't do without the music. So let's move on. What's it playing in the background? Awesome God, awesome God. Well, at least you have life, and once you have life, there is hope. I listened to a motivational speech that somebody sent me the other time, and the speaker was saying, that was my big bro who sent me that. Big bro, good morning to you wherever you are. I know you'll be in office at this time. And the guy was saying, if God is finished with you, if everything is finished with you, when he slept, you would have died. That was it. Or that would have been it. However, it wasn't so. So when he slept, God says, there's another opportunity, there's more for me to do with you, and therefore he woke you up. Well, so once there is life, there is hope. So look forward. Don't drive looking in the rear view mirror all the time. It's not that you don't have to be looking in the rear view. You have to at a point, but not all the time. So instead of you gazing in your ahead, you keep on looking. Oh my God, you're not going anywhere. Okay, so more stories coming from Nigeria in the next few minutes with Mr. Olaimi Koiki with updates from Nigeria. In this program, that part of the program is sponsored by the Koiki Removal Services, and it says removal services made simpler than you think. And it says it is time for Ebonyi State to stand up and count and be counted by living up to its nickname as the salt of the nation. So if they're the salt of the nation, well, they need to stand up and be counted. And then in another statement that the president has made, the president said he's applauding the progress in Katsina under Governor Aminu Bello Masari. Of course, Katsina is where the president comes from. Katsina State, right? So of course, the governor will make sure that he does everything. And I know that the subvention funds will be tripling in like no man business. If you're president, you don't develop where you come from. I mean, what else? I know it's not everybody who does that though. But we have the first president of Ghana, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who during his tenure didn't do much in his place of birth or at his place of birth. At the Nzima area in the western region, not much was done there. They look at the holistic thing, looking at the whole nation, that if we develop it, we develop the whole nation, and therefore taking vantage places to do so. But maybe because we have President Buhari coming from Katsina, that's why maybe this is happening. Who knows? Okay, nobody knows, so we're going to go on. But I know our leaders will not tell us. But another statement that has come out. It's a directive on food importation. Buhari's presidency, APC out to punish Nigerians, says policy is anti-people, ill-timed. The People's Democratic Party, the PDP, described President Muhammadu Buhari's directive to stifle food importation in the country as mean, ill-timed, and completely against the well-being of Nigerians. The PDP states that this directive will worsen food scarcity and a lot more coming your way. But I'm going with me, name is Olaimi Kweke, who has just joined in. And he's going to be telling you more about what is happening. But if you're watching us live on Facebook, you could see in your shot that he is standing at a particular square, and I'm not going to be naming it or wherever he is, but showing you an area view of where he is. But it is Starr Radio UK, and updates from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi Koiki. And this part of the program is sponsored by the Koiki Removal Services. And as we say, removal services made easier than you think. Whether it be a single item, whether it be domestic or commercial, whatever it is, he's able to help you move it from point A to B. Okay, thank you very much, Joyful Way Incorporated. But it's now time for us to have an encounter with Mr. Olayomi Koiki. Yummy, good morning to you.
Well, it is a good morning to all our listeners around the world. And yes, it is a Friday. And as you can see, it is the African attire. And when we put on this attire in any part of the world, as Africans, be it from Ghana, from Nigeria, from Zimbabwe, it indicates either we are going to a party or we are going to somewhere very, very special. And this morning, we're live from Trafalgar Square, where we are going to be reporting for the next 15 minutes or 20 minutes. And maybe we might have some of the tourists that will be able to also speak to us, back here in London, where we're reporting from. And if I turn the camera, towards, looking further down there, it's just about few meters, I say few meters, to one of the most important house of Nigerians in United Kingdom, and that is the Nigerian High Commission, where the indigene of Ogun State is called the gateway state to Nigeria. That means if you're traveling to any part of Nigeria, you must pass through Ogun State, so that you can reach your destination. And this morning, some of the indigene for Ogun State residing here in United Kingdom are paying a courtesy visit to the High Commission here in London, and that is one of the reasons why we are going to be following that special engagement with the ambassador this morning. Now we might maybe have an exclusive interview with him that we'll be bringing back to you on Monday. But right behind me, this is where the heart of United Kingdom is when it comes to tourism. And that is the only way, money, when we're talking about Forex, in terms of, people that are coming from every part of the world, this is exactly where they will visit in any point of time. And this is Trafalgar Square, where we are reporting from this morning. Once again, this is a Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps.
Wow, Yomi, yes. Thank you very much. Broadcasting from Trafalgar Square this morning. I'm Archie. And we have Mr. Olayomi Koiki bringing us all those updates. Just stay tuned and don't just touch the dial. But interestingly, Olayomi made a statement, and let me just quickly touch on that, and then we can move on to the updates that is making the rounds in Nigeria. My apologies to you all. Okay, he seemed to be setting up.
What happened was, and this is a country where everything, sometimes you might not know that somebody is watching you.
Yeah.
But by the time you finish setup, somebody will approach you.
Yeah.
And the reason why we have been approached, by the warden, he has already walked away. He just wanted to be sure that
you
have
are
the press card
Yeah.
to indicate that we can broadcast from here. And Starr Radio UK have everything in place ready for them.
Thank you for putting it on. Okay, now you did mention that Nigeria, Ogun State is the gateway to Nigeria, and for our listeners, they are thinking, what is he talking about?
What I mean is Ogun State is the gateway state to other part of the state in Nigeria. So that means if you're going to the east, if you're going to the north, if you're going to Abuja, you will have to travel by Ogun State to reach your destination. So it's like it's a main point for you to move out of the southwest, going to the north, to the east, out of the country.
Okay.
And it is a very important state, and and that is why we're going to be following some of the indigene that are paying a courtesy visit to the ambassador this morning, right behind me at the Nigerian High Commission.
Okay, for the sake of those who have not been to Nigeria or who don't know Ogun State per se, now, what are some of the prominent towns in Ogun State?
Well, let's not talk about the prominent. Let's talk about the individuals. Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Who doesn't know Fela Baba Abamieda? A critic to this current government while he was alive. Fela was jailed so many times for singing against the government, and his house was burned down. Fela is from Ogun State. Let's go back a little bit. The first woman to drive in Nigeria is, the mother of Fela Anikulapo Kuti. That is Mrs. Fumilayo, Anikulapo Kuti. Also from Ogun State, who doesn't know Wale Soyinka? Wale Soyinka is a Nobel laureate, and I can confirm that on Monday next week, they are holding a protest right in Lagos as well. Wale Soyinka is also from Ogun State as well. We had so many, dignitary. Who doesn't know Chief MK Abiola? The reason why a lot of Nigerians are enjoying the democracy today is because MK Abiola sacrificed. The late Chief MK Abiola, a philanthropist, an individual that is well known right here in United Kingdom. And let me just take you back to history. There was a time that Chief MK Abiola was coming down to London for a very, very important meeting. He got to the immigration, and the officer asked him where his passport was. He said the passport is being bring from another airline because he's already running late at the moment. That baffled the immigration officer. And, the immigration officer was saying, okay, this is the first time I'm hearing such a thing, that somebody's coming to this country without a passport. And he went inside, and by the time they rushed back out, they had to start apologizing to Chief MK Abiola because he said he had a very crucial meeting with our important people. If otherwise, he will be pulling out his investment right here in United Kingdom. That shows you the importance of Ogun State and so many other things that are taking place. And if you remember, Mr. Archie, let me break it down. Ogun State is Abeokuta under Ogun State. That is the capital, and that is where Star Radio UK was reporting during the election time for the governorship election. And we've done so many reports from there. Remember the tie and dye individual that we interviewed is also from Abeokuta as well, which is the capital city of Ogun State. Once again, a very busy morning down here where everyone do come down. It's also on holiday time. So we have the mix of the indigent living in the United Kingdom right here. But I can confirm the most people that travel there all the time are foreigners that are visiting Trafalgar Square for whatever reason, just to indicate that they've touched down here. And I'll go back now to you in the studio.
Wow, listeners, that is Starr Radio UK, and that is Mr. Olaimi Koiki at Trafalgar Square reporting live, bringing you updates from Nigeria. At least, if it's the first time of listening to us, you don't know much about Nigeria, at least today he's giving you a bit of rundown education about Ogun State, one of the prominent states in Nigeria. But now it's time for us to move on to some of the stories making the rounds in Nigeria. And first and foremost, let's look at the Ebonyi State. Okay, one of the states in Nigeria as well. Now, Ebonyi State is supposed to be the salt of the nation. But why are they saying that, Ayo Akinfe, that's the first story, are you saying that it's time for the Ebonyi State to rise up or stand up and be counted? And I ask myself the question, they are all states in Nigeria, everybody's doing their bits, so why Ebonyi State?
Well, every state in Nigeria have a uniqueness that sometimes you wonder how come we've not been able to tap in, from that uniqueness. And Ebonyi State is one of them as well. And this morning, the senior journalist, like you said, Ayo Akinfe, he's already put out his 10 bullet point. I'm trying to pull it out here, but I'm sure you can be able to read one or two. But I'll respond to that.
Yeah.
Indicating that Ebonyi State also have what it takes, when it comes to alternative to crude oil. But have we been able to harness on some of these? It makes you wonder why, some of the governors and those that are, leading, each of these states have not been able to make use of, the resources that they have in each of their states. But we can only hope for the best.
Wow. Listeners, the astound journalist Ayo Akinfe, the first point that he published, he said that with a global crude oil market dancing atilogu, I hope I pronounced it well, over the last few weeks, as Donald Trump continues to make the world an uncertain place with his clownish behavior, Nigeria needs to wake up to the reality that she can no longer rely on petroleum to fund her budget. Somehow, this reality has not dawned on our people in Aso Rock, but very soon they will be hit by a sucker punch. But alas, by then it will be too late. And therefore, he's calling for Ebonyi State to rise up. So what does Ebonyi State exactly? Is it an agriculture area where what exactly goes on there when it comes to natural resources?
Well, Ebonyi State, I'm trying to pull out, my other device seems to be running a bit slow, but I'm just trying to put out more information from the state itself, because like I did mention, at the beginning of the broadcast, that each of the states have a very unique, and when I say unique, unique natural resources that makes you wonder why we've not been able to make so much out of it. And just in just about a few minutes, we're bringing out a little bit more about the
that.
state. And yes, I've got it here. Ebonyi State is in the southeast of Nigeria. It is inhabited and populated primarily by the Igbo. Its capital and the largest city in Abakaliki and other major towns, including Afikpo. And also, it was one of the 6 states created in 1996. Nigeria started creating more states because individuals and the region wanted that state to be created. So Ebonyi State was created in 1996 by the federal military government of the late General Sani Abacha. And the state of Ebonyi was created from part of both Enugu State and also from Abia State as well. In just about a few minutes, I'll go back to you in the studio, but I can always be telling you a little bit more of what Ebonyi State, while we're also looking at some other stories. And at the moment, Ebonyi State, as of 2006, have 2.1 million people living in Ebonyi State at about 2,000 square miles. And one of the universities is also Ebonyi State University. I go back now to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Yes, listen at Starr Radio UK, bringing you updates from Nigeria, sponsored by Koiki Removal Services. It says removal services made simpler than you think. Okay, we'll bring you more details of that in a jiffy. But moving on to the updates, but touching briefly on one of the natural resources that the Ebonyi State has. It's talked about salt, and it says that there is large salt deposit in Ebonyi State, which the government, the state or the federal government can make good use of. But the problem is, what are our people doing about that? What are people doing about that? We sit aloof. We decide to be looking at something that, like he's talking the petroleum sector, where we think, oh, we got monies from the crude oil production, and even that we've been talking about it. We produce crude oil, yet we ran out of gas or fuel. You ask yourself, what is the point? What is all that about? Because we don't refine it there and everything that is going on. But what do you think about all that? Well, we're still coming your way. Maybe Yomi will touch on one other. Yes.
Just one more other item before we move to the next, next update is Ebonyi is primarily also an agricultural region.
Mm-hmm.
It is a leading producer of rice, yam, potato, maize, beans, and cassava in Nigeria. And rice and yam are predominantly cultivated in Ede, a region within the state. And Ebonyi has several solid mineral resources, including crude oil and natural gas, but few large-scale commercial mining. The state government has, however, given several incentives to investors in the agro-allied sector to encourage production. Ebonyi is called the salt of the nation for its huge salt deposit at the Oposi and Ubura Salt Lake. And that is also, part of what, Ayu Akimfe was putting out this morning on the 10th bullet point. I'll go back now to you in the studio.
Well, listen to Starr Radio UK for you. Reporting from Trafalgar Square, Mr. Olaimi Koiki. I'm Archie in the Starr Radio UK studios. Now, let's move on to some stories still linked up with this. Now, you talked about the fact that Ebonyi State is an agriculture sector where region where there's so much rice and everything that is produced there. Now, we have the president coming out to say that, look, he is banning the importation of foodstuff. Okay, now the PDP has come out to say the People's Democratic Party describes President Muhammadu Buhari's directive to stifle food importation in the country as mean, ill-timed, and completely against the well-being of Nigerians. The PDP states that this directive will worsen food scarcity, exacerbate the already harsh economic situation, and the general depression, frustration, resentment, and despair in our country under the president's watch. So we have Ebonyi State, we have other states where they are agricultural based states, and therefore they produce lots of food stuff. But as whether whatever they are producing is enough to go around to satisfy everybody. And again, it's affordable. It's one thing. Now, the president coming out to say, look, we are banning the importation of food. We know that agriculture, those who are in the agriculture industry, they will be so happy that, oh, yeah, now we're going to have our products or our produce being patronized. But what about the ordinary Nigerian who has to now go to the market to go and buy? Or those who want a particular food to eat, maybe they want rice, but the local rice production, the prices are quite over the top if you compare it to the ones that are being imported. So what are you thinking about? What do you think the PDP is saying? Is it right in the way they presented it?
Just before I answer that, I saw a post as we know there's a lot that is happening. Sometimes when not just in Nigeria, even here in United Kingdom, when those leaders say something, we have those that also twist it. And one of the tweets that I read yesterday was if the president is banning food importation, the president must also ban himself from coming to United Kingdom for medical treatment. And that is just on the side as well. Going back to the main question that you asked, the most important thing is for us to have large deposit of food. We must be working using the mechanization. We can't continue using the old tools, that is not enough to feed the people. So that means that we must go into mechanization and we must be able to educate some of the farmers as well. That is number one. The other problem that a lot of the farmers are having, Mr. Archie, and to all our listeners is, some of the food get rotten even before getting into, the end user.
Yeah.
So that means that, the storage facility to put some of this food is no longer available or is never available in the first place. And that is why we can't. Most of the farmers are working tirelessly day and night, but looking at the climate of Nigeria and the weather, this food get rotten quickly if they are not kept in the silo or if they are not converted as quickly as possible to something else in terms of, making use of it, whether turning a yam to flour or turning a maize that we've seen into conflicts or other products as well. And that is where the problem is.
Wow. Listen, it's Starr Radio UK. Now, you did touch on mechanized farming. Now, has government made any, preparation towards that? And if so, how many? I know there are big farmers. We have the former president Obasanjo, who is a farmer. We got a few of them who are farmers, but with what they are producing, it will not be able to suffice people of up to nearly 200 million. They can't do that. So how many people, in communities, and in states where it's agriculture states. Now, how many mechanized farmers does Nigeria have? And when it comes to, keeping, we're talking about silos, we're talking about converting all this food stuff into into flour or into chips or stuff like that, whatever we want to do. What are the preparation that has been done?
Well, the preparation is, yes, the government is working with, different partners and different, investors in terms of that area with the, having, the right, machinery to be able to be used on the farm. And if you remember when we spoke to, one of our contributor in Nigeria, Nelson, I'll try to remember his name, that was telling us that, and each time I follow his post, from his farm in Nigeria, you wonder that there is still a lot of work that needs to be done, because if the local government doesn't have the machinery that someone can go to borrow, some of this machinery are quite expensive, and an average farmer might not be able to have them in their possession. We need them in different areas to start up the the clearing of the land, up to cultivation, and up to so many areas that some of these tools are being used for. But like I said, very expensive, but the government must invest more. And let's hope now that the African Development Bank is injecting another $1 billion, and the federal government is saying yes, even though the PDP doesn't agree with that, looking at their press statement, but the federal government believes that the importation of food into the country is the wrong move, and Nigeria must start growing their food independently.
So when is this food importation ban commencing, or has it already commenced?
Well, it's more about the forex, not literally the food ban. If you can get your
Afford
forex
to,
from other countries, you can bring the food in. but you won't be able to get access to the forex from the Central Bank of Nigeria, and that has already taken place, with immediate effect.
Listeners, Star Radio UK. The update from Nigeria, sponsored by Koiki Removal Services, and it says Koiki Removal Services made simpler than you think. Reporting live from Trafalgar Square, Miss Olaimi Koiki. I'm Archie in the studios of Star Radio UK in London. Okay, now so let's move on to some of the other stories that is making the rounds there. Now the president has commended, applauded the governor of Katsina. I mean, virtually that's Governor Aminu Bello Masari. Now, my statement when I saw that is, I said, well, that is the state that the president comes from. Now, if he comes from there, automatically, subvention funds might be trooping in or trickling in more because that is where he comes from. So if he goes around and say, well, I think he's done very well, blah, 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 what do you think the other governors are going to say? Are they getting equal treatment as the Katsina State is getting? Or maybe Katsina State is getting some preferential treatment. That is why the president can say, oh, look, the governor has done very, very well. What exactly has gone on?
One of that preference might be from the resident of Castina, so that they do enjoy 24 hours power supply each time the president is in town, compared to when he's out of the country. But going back to the reality in terms of whether there are other incentives that the state might be getting, yes, the president is from Castina, from Daura precisely, and he did launch a couple of road projects and other activities while he was for the Eid break in Daura. And also he did pay the visit to the IDP camp. But in terms of allocation that is received from the federal government to each of the states is shared equally according to what the law says. But whether Castina is getting more incentive, again, it's all about each of the states turning around their state to create more IGR. Because if they're not creating more internal generated revenue, the problem is, they will have more people that are starving, more people that needs to be fed, and there's so much, infrastructure that needs to be dealt with. So they must open up their state, for private investors to come in, so that they can be able to make use of that properly.
Okay, listen to Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 11:28. We'll be bringing the updates to a close pretty soon. But let me just quickly, Atiku PDP asked tribunal to annul Buhari's re-election, proving he is unqualified. Those are stories making the rounds there. And then El Zaki rejects treatment in Indian hospital and returns home. How true is that?
Well, yes, from indication, I listened to, the video interview he did for Tribuna, newspaper in Nigeria, though it was in Hausa language, but translated to English. And, what he said was, it's up to the members of the Nigerians to believe him or believe the Nigerian government, because the Nigerian government is giving out a statement that is contradictory to, what arrangement they had in place for them arriving into India. But it looks like something is not right, and they are not very pleased. The wife, I'm told, is already back in Nigeria, and El Zaki might be making his way back to Nigeria and maybe seek a further treatment from a different country apart from India, or maybe have that same treatment in Nigeria.
Interesting. Okay, so any updates from the tribunal, the election tribunal that is sitting? Because we have the PDP saying that that's Atiku saying that they had to annul Buhari's re-election. We know we talked about that previously, and we said that that will never happen. But what do you think?
On Monday, I don't have that information in hand, but what I can say is on Monday we will try to maybe have someone that could join us during the broadcast from Nigeria at 11 o'clock to give us a better insight of what is up to date in terms of the tribunal that is taking place regarding this election from the PDP to the federal to the APC. I might try and reach out to Mr. Shegun Shoumi. He's already been a contributor. If otherwise, we will get someone that could have a conversation with us on Monday morning. But I will confirm that also, if we do have an exclusive interview with the High Commission, that we will play on Monday when we come back from here. As the weather is changing on our hands there, but right here, like I said, the heart of London, Trafalgar Square, we can have same thing replicated in every part of African country. but it's the zeal and the will of the people and the government is what really matters that can push that to happen.
Okay. Now, before we go, some breaking news pertaining to Al Zaki's arrival. Now, security has been beefed at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, following the arrival of the Sheikh Ibrahim El Zaki and his wife Zinat. And the security operatives who are in Mufti have been stationed in strategic locations at the airport to prevent El Zaki's followers from breaching security and airport protocol. El Zaki flying in on an Ethiopian airline and is expected to touch down by 12 p.m. So by this time, I think, if anything, he would have touched down. So that's some updates from Nigeria for you. Now, Yomi, before we go, what else do you have for us, please?
Well, a very busy weekend as usual, and wherever you are, Africans, let us make impact and let us make sure that whatever we are doing, we can also change the narrative of what Africa is, and continue to stay tuned on Starr Radio UK, your finest African and Afro-Caribbean radio station in London. And from me here in Trafalgar Square, I say good morning, and we'll be back again, same time, 11 o'clock on Monday morning.
Okay, Yomi, thank you very much.
Bye for now.
Wow. Listeners, this update has been sponsored by Koiki Removal Services, and it says removal services made simpler than you think. But if you have any goods, whether it be domestic or commercial, whatever it is, it says relax and let our professional movers take care of your move. Single item to a full house move, man with a van hire, fixed price and hourly rate, fully insured service, parking, unparking, assembly, disassembly of furniture, short notice and weekend availability, wide range of supplemental services, local and nationwide, public liability insurance, good transit insurance. Look no further. Just contact us. It is +44 759 405 0979. +44 759 405 979. That is for your information. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bring the time now to 11:33. We take a commercial break. We come back. I bring you some lovely music, and I bring you some of the news that is making the rounds in the world today. We'll be exactly at tick tock at 12:30. We'll be having no other one but the one and only. Yes, the one and only Dan Tabiri, our money man, coming your way with the money hour, putting some money in your pockets today. So wherever you are, don't touch the dial. Continue to stay tuned. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Are you looking to deliver that urgent package and intact? Connect Time Logistics guarantees reliable, fast, secure, and time-sensitive door-to-door delivery services across Ghana, Africa, and indeed worldwide. Our services include air and sea cargo, vehicle shipping, and excess baggage. Connect Time Logistics has a specialized and dedicated customer service team to ensure prompt delivery to your door. Call our London office
+44 208 291 7575 or +44 208 858 6600.
Book online at www.connect-ta.com. Connect Time Logistics, connecting the dots in worldwide professional delivery services.
What's the hidden truth or mysteries behind the supernatural? Do angels really exist today? Is healings and miracles real? Can I hear the voice of God? What's their inspirations and challenges in ministry? Can my eyes be open to see beyond the natural? Can I operate in the gifts of the Holy Spirit? Can my dreams contain messages from God? My Journey is your one-stop destination to the supernatural on Starr Radio UK. Join your host, Captain Tete, this and every Saturday from 4 p.m. on My Journey, your one-stop destination to the supernatural.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. We beg you, sir, Charlie.
Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie and Regina on the Family Enrichment Programme on Starr Radio UK. This and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing
people's secrets. Don't be a busybody.
And some people. Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Program brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Program this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Starr Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Download our app in iTunes and the Google Play Store.
What's the hidden truth or mysteries behind the supernatural? Do angels really exist today? Is healings and miracles real? Can I hear the voice of God? Was there inspirations and challenges in ministry? Can my eyes be open to see beyond the natural? Can I operate in the gifts of the Holy Spirit? Can my dreams contain messages from God? My Journey is your one-stop destination to the supernatural on Starr Radio UK. Join your host, Captain Tete, this and every Saturday from 4 p.m. on My Journey, your one-stop destination to the supernatural.
You can't always be in control of what happens on the road, but you can control the tires you ride on. Thanks to Champon Tires, in testing condition, you are guaranteed of traction and grip, be it new or partly worn tire. Champon Tires are the largest import and exporters of tires in the UK. Locate us all over the UK. For Wakefield, contact us on 01924 262 043. Selby, Rotherham, Hull, and Birmingham, contact us on 01709 380-615, or you can visit us at www.champontires.co.uk. Champon Tires, safe when new, safe when partly worn.
A storm, how I see ahead. Weather forecast a bit nippy ahead. Beggars can't choose, but be picky instead. 9 to 5 blues, kick me, I'm dead. Cross my T's and dot my eyes. Stress way, they my chest I ostracized. Do I treat you man, Robert, till you smell the ties? Me and I dream be a yaka, I'm cutting ties. My jalabia tailor made, all customized. My English straight pigeon, all bastardized. What I for do? Ignore the bastard guys. I work, they snore, I pass those guys. Thank God it's Friday, of course my mind day. Rise and shine your eye, hustlers wait. All week long we hustle and slay. Trap the non-clays for wages and pay. Cooking in the morning, and sure the Vim day. Weekend so strong, helps to shine the weekdays. Mommy say, son, well, God be praised. Well, these days, money be why we day some way. I bathe in faith, no bathe in apes. A basic case of faith in something great, but still, from 6 to 6 with stones and bricks, a building a future. I hope I live to see and shit. I barely know sleep, give me some way. Boys are bread all week, give me some way. Boys are living over cheap, give me some way. But thank God it's Friday. Maybe Jimmy did it, doom so, some way. If we are born in school, give me some way. My woman, boy, my dog, give me some way. But thank God God it's Friday, maybe Jimmy. My gets mini aje. During the week I'm busy, mini adaje. But I still put in work, sick of dachi. I'm even out before the sun sets marching. So it's 5 on Friday, any achi. Make up verbs are quite nasi. Health is wealth, I give thanks, me dasi. My use my word as might to buy a sassy. Why wouldn't him say, has to know they nap, has to know they sleep, has to know this like you make wild on the streets, has to know they vex or stress about beat. RIP, laziness, lay a week. Dance with the struggle, got a million needs. We've been out in here along like Brazilian weaves. When the weekdays filled without brilliant deeds, weekends we can enjoy what resilience breeds. I bathe in faith, not base with snakes. It base the case of me and fake know that relates. From 6 to 6, we stone some bricks, build a future risk case, I'm a stone and flicks. I barely no sleep, he be some way. Boys I bread all week, he be some way. Boys are living no be cheap, he be some way. But thank God it's Friday, maybe Jimmy need to doom so, some way. If we are born in Soto, he be some way. My woman boy, my dog, he be some way. But thank God it's Friday, maybe Jimmy need see. Bug on my embrace, some way. Girls are bread, no be boys best. Some way, man, you be on my mind, some way. Thank God it's Friday. Ha, bug on my embrace. Some way, girls are bread, no be boys best. Some way, man, you be on my mind, some way. Thank God it's Friday. Let's be how we go do Me say, driving in a storm, I can't see shit. All week long, sink or swim, that's it. Staring at the clock, does it move, does it tick? Time moves slow, it's when you need it to be quick. Driving in a storm, how I fit, see ahead. Weather forecast a bit nippy ahead. Beggars can't choose, but be picky instead. 9 to 5 blues, kick me, I'm dead. Driving in a storm, how I fit, see ahead. Weather forecast a bit nippy ahead. Beggars can't choose, but be picky instead. 9 to 5 blues, kick me, I'm dead. I barely no sleep, give me some way. Boys I bread all week, give me some way. Boys are living no be cheap, give me some way. But thank God it's Friday, maybe Jimmy need some way, be. He be some way, be. He be some way, be. Maybe Jimmy need.
Well, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and the time now is exactly 11:43. I'll be opening the lines in the next 5 minutes for you to add your voice to the discussion so far, pertaining to the importation, the ban on importation of food. I mean, not like we did say or came out with this morning with Mr. Olaimi Koiki, not an outright ban that nobody can, virtually, what do you call it, import. He says, well, we're not going to be giving you foreign or forex to do that. So if you can find your own money to do that, fine, go on, get on with it. Okay, I know some people can, because those who are very rich, who have got so much resources, they are able to do that. So what is going to happen is that it's going to now go into the hands of a handful of people who are already well-to-do. Catch my drift? Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Okay, but then the main problem that is going to happen, that I was pondering about, is will the people be okay? Will they suffer or what? If you want to add your voice to that discussion, feel free to do so. Then secondly, in the UK today, for the past couple of days, there have been days for going forward and backwards pertaining to this advertising chicken box campaign that seems to be going on knife crime. And we have a few people who have spoken against it. Some from the black communities or the minority communities, let me put it that way. But my concern has been drawn to the fact that let me put it this way. I have looked at it and thought that when you are disseminating information, you target a particular group. Now, you look at the best means to get to that group with your information. So you look at places where they converge, you look at the food that they eat, you look at programs that they like watching, you look at stuff like that. Okay, so they know that, looking at it, we have a few of the, maybe the black community who like going to the fast food chains. So if you decide to now target that, what is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Now, But if you go to McDonald's now, or this afternoon, where we know school children are on holidays, schools are on holidays and everything. Now, if you go there now, you wouldn't see only blacks there. You see a mixture of families or color or creed. Okay? Now, so if, let me say, a Caucasian goes to buy some chicken and chips or whatever it is and has that information, they will also read it, because once you open it, you flip it, you will see it there. Now, if a black one also goes there and he flips it, he's going to see it. You have an Indian person flipping it, they will also see it as well. So, what is wrong with that? Now, we don't want to call a spade a spade. We keep on using some cavalier means to cover up stuff. But the reality is that the knife crime is more predominant in the black community. So, if the authorities think that let's target it that way, we are able to now send more information to the kids when they come to sit down, or whoever they are when they come to converge at that place. What is actually wrong with that? I want to have your take. Call me on 0208 133 2257, 0208 133 2257 or 58. If you're in US or Canada, maybe you have a take on what is going on. Maybe in the gun killings in the US, you think that maybe the path that the authorities here in the UK have taken is a good path. Why not? So let us hear from you. Let us hear from you. You can text or WhatsApp me 07539661744, 07539661744. Our Twitter handle is @Starr Radio UK, and our email address is info@starradiouk.com. Now, information coming through this morning. A PC has been killed while investigating burglary. 10 people aged between 13 and 30 have been arrested on suspicion of murder, Thames Valley Police has said. And Clark and Herman open to leading government. Okay, we'll be talking about that. Lib Dem leader Joe Swinson says the senior Tory and Labour MPs are both prepared to be caretaker prime ministers. That is, if the vote of no confidence in Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, sticks, then that is what is going to be happening. So instead of them having Jeremy Corbyn, who is saying that he's putting himself, that he's going to be there in the interim to organize whether a referendum or an election, whatever the case might be, they are saying that that Lead Them leader Joe Swinson is saying that look, I think we've got Harriet Herman and Clark to be the ones who we think that can be interim leaders for the country. But what do you think about all that? Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Far-right knife man admits Tesco car park attacks administrators appointed for Ferguson shipyard. We'll bring you more on that. Lawyer killed after chance encounter after Duncan 52 died after apparently being stabbed with a screwdriver in a Newcastle shopping center. Now, at long last, we have this man appearing or resurfacing, as some people put it. David Cameron in Cheltenham Festival lineup. Now, more than 900 writers, including comedians and TV stars, will appear at the festival from the 4th to the 13th of October. And David Cameron is going to be one of them. Hundreds going private for medical cannabis. Private cannabis clinics have now opened in the UK, charging up to $800 per month for prescription. And who will pay that? Is it on the NHS or virtually those who can afford? And if somebody is suffering an ailment that needs this cannabis oil treatment, and because they cannot get it on the NHS and they cannot afford to go to these private clinics to pay up to £800 per month, how much do you earn for you to pay £800 per month? Then what happens? They go through the back door and we still go to square one. So what do you think about all that? Stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. Starr Radio UK. I'll take a quick commercial break, and once I come back, I'll bring you details of those stories that I put across. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial.
Are you looking to deliver that urgent package and intact. Connect Time Logistics guarantees reliable, fast, secure, and time-sensitive door-to-door delivery services across Ghana, Africa, and indeed worldwide. Our services include air and sea cargo, vehicle shipping, and excess baggage. Connect Time Logistics has a specialized and dedicated customer service team to ensure prompt delivery to your door. Call our London office
+44 208 291 7575 or +44 208 858 6600.
Book online at www.connect-ta.com. Connect Time Logistics, connecting the dots in worldwide professional delivery services.
What's the hidden truth or mysteries behind the supernatural? Do angels really exist today? Is healings and miracles real? Can I hear the voice of God? What's their inspirations and challenges in ministry? Can my eyes be open to see beyond the natural? Can I operate in the gifts of the Holy Spirit? Can my dreams contain messages from God? My Journey is your one-stop destination to the supernatural on Starr Radio UK. Join your host, Captain Tete, this and every Saturday from 4 p.m. on My Journey, your one-stop destination to the supernatural.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Baby Sa Charlie.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Otta, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let me touch on some of the story, the headlines that I put across and bring you some details of it. Now, a 13-year-old boy is among 10 people arrested on suspicion of murder after Thames Valley police officer was killed near Sam Hampstead, Berkshire. Now, PC Andrew Harper was responding to a reported burglary at around 11:30 p.m. on Thursday when he was killed. The suspect, all males, aged between 13 and 30, are in police custody across the country. Now, a crime scene remains in place as police search the cross roads of Ofton Lane and Lambden's Hill near to the South Hampstead. The site of the killing is just a 4-minute drive away from the South Hampstead Police Training Center. Now, Bath Road, A4 between Newbury and Reading, has now reopened. Now, Home Secretary Priti Patel tweeted, "My thoughts are with the family of PC Andrew Harper, who was killed in the line of duty last night." Deputy Chief Constable Jason Hogg said, "Our deepest thoughts at this time are, of course, with Andrew's family and Andrew's friends and family who are being supported by special trained family liaison officers. Our thoughts also extend to all Andrew's colleagues within Thames Valley Police. As a force, we are devastated at the loss of our colleague and will all be supporting each other at this difficult time." Senior Investigation Officer Detective Chief Inspector Stuart Blake of the Thames Valley Police Major Crime Unit said, "We have made a total of 10 arrests in connection with the incident, and those arrested are currently in police custody. Those arrested are all male and aged between 13 and 30. So what did the 13-year-old boy do at the time? Is he just living? Is he one who lives in the house,
I can't just imagine that something happens and then they'll come and apprehend my little girl. Now, if she is now 18, I think that they should. So for a 13-year-old, well, we know that the investigation will take place and we'll have more details of that story during the course of the days to come. Okay, so now moving on to some other story that has made the rounds this morning, pertaining to the the vote of no confidence that the Labour leaders seem to be planning against the Prime Minister if they decide to go or vote to leave the EU without a deal. Now, senior Tory Ken Clark and former Deputy Labour leader Harriet Herman are both prepared to lead an emergency government to avoid a no-deal Brexit, Lib Dems leader Joe Swinson has said. Ms. Swinson has rejected Jeremy Corbyn's proposal that he should be installed as a caretaker Prime Minister if he wins a vote of no confidence in the government. She said Mr. Corbyn did not have the necessary support from opposition MPs. However, she said she would be prepared to meet him to discuss alternatives. Now, Ms. Swinson put forward Mr. Clark and Ms. Herman, who are longest continuously serving male and female MPs as potentially caretaker prime ministers, saying they were both experienced and command respect across the parliament. Now, I have been in touch with them because obviously you don't just mention people's names without checking that they're okay with that. So, she said in the BBC program that they put public duty first and they don't want to see a no-deal Brexit, she added. If the House of Commons asks them to lead an emergency government to get our country out of this Brexit mess and to stop us driving off the cliff to a no-deal, then yes, they are prepared to do that. Well, interesting. This new Lib Dem leader, Swinson, is quite a strong one. I seem to like her. A lot, and I think that she'll go places, right? Haha. Okay, it's 11:57 from the hearts of London, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Exactly at 12:30, our money man, Mr. Dante Bray, will be joining in with the Money Hour. Put some money in your pockets. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay. Now, one other story that I wanted us to touch on is the hundreds of people who are now going to private clinics for medical cannabis. Now, it says hundreds of people in the UK are turning to private clinics for medical cannabis, the BBC reports. Now, since its legalization in November 2018, there have been very few, if any, prescriptions for medical cannabis containing THC on the NHS. And this has led some patients with conditions such as epilepsy and MS to pay up to £800 a month privately. The government said it's sympathized with families dealing so courageously with challenging conditions. Cheryl King has been trying to get medical cannabis on the NHS for her daughter, Charlotte, who has been brain damage and epilepsy, but has been refused twice. And she had been told it was too expensive and she had not yet tried all the other available options, she said. Now, nothing has happened, nothing has changed since the legislation, Miss King said. Now, it's absolutely disgusting that anyone is having to pay to go private. She added, something she cannot afford to do. Now, campaign groups say by not prescribing cannabis medicine with the THS and the NHS is limiting treatment options for patients. A review earlier this month by NHS England, however, highlighted a lack of evidence about the long-term safety and effectiveness and medical cannabis. My apologies, please. Now, NICE said it was unable to make a recommendation about the use of cannabis-based medicines for severe treatment-resistant epilepsy because there was a lack of clear evidence that these treatments provide any benefits. And this has led to the introduction of private clinics. Now, Grow Biotech, which handles about 3/4 of a medical cannabis imported into the UK, said as of July, it had received more than 100 requests for private prescriptions, of which about 60 had been fulfilled. The new London branch of the medical cannabis clinic has not yet opened, but said it had 162 patients on its waiting list with conditions such as epilepsy, Parkinson's, post-traumatic stress disorder, that's PTSD, and fibromyalgia. Okay, so now everyone can get an appointment to come here, but not everyone leaves with a prescription for cannabis. Its director, Professor Mike Burns, has said. In a quote, he said, there are some conditions for which there is good evidence for cannabis to be useful. So you'd have to have one of those conditions like pain, anxiety, or nausea and sickness in chemotherapy or epilepsy to qualify to get that. Well. It's 1 minute past the top of the hour. It is Starr Radio UK. It is the Friday edition of the morning show. And I'm going to bring you some music. But you stay tuned and don't tag the dial. And from there, I'll bring you some world stories as well. But this evening, exactly at 7 o'clock, Nana Afia Sawara Koto will be coming your way with the Afia Show. It's a social program. Targeting the minority community, or especially looking at Ghana as a whole. Stay tuned and don't think of touching the dial.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Are you looking to deliver that urgent package and intact? Connect Time Logistics guarantees reliable, fast, secure, and time-sensitive door-to-door delivery services across Ghana, Africa, and indeed worldwide. Our services include air and sea cargo, vehicle shipping, and excess baggage. Connect Time Logistics has a specialized and dedicated customer service team to ensure prompt delivery to your door. Call our London office
+44 208 291 7575 or +44 208 858 6600.
Book online at www.connect-ta.com. Connect Time Logistics, connecting the dots in worldwide professional delivery services.
What's the hidden truth or mysteries behind the supernatural? Do angels really exist today? Is healings and miracles real? Can I hear the voice of God? Was there inspirations and challenges in ministry? Can my eyes be open to see beyond the natural? Can I operate in the gifts of the Holy Spirit? Can my dreams contain messages from God? My Journey is your one-stop destination to the supernatural on Starr Radio UK. Join your host, Captain Tete, this and every Saturday from 4 p.m. on My Journey, your one-stop destination to the supernatural.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Baby Sa Charlie.
Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie, and Regina on the Family Enrichment Program on Star Radio UK. This and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing
people's secrets. Don't be a busybody.
And some people. Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Program brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Program this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Star Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
The coolest way to start your weekend. The coolest way to start your weekend.
Okay, that is Papa Youngson bringing you, let me say, the late Papa Youngson and the Western Diamonds Band saying, let us start it, let's get it on. One shot it. By this Star Radio UK, it is the Friday edition of the morning show. In the next 23 minutes, I'll be bringing the first part of the program to a close, and then we'll have Mr. Dan Tabiri bringing us the Money Hour. To the world stories. North Korea snubs speed stops with South Korea over war drills. Yes, Star Radio UK. So what is up? What is up? What is up? What's going on there? North Korea has rejected any further talks with South Korea, calling its decision completely the fault of South Korea's action. It issued a statement in response to a speech by South Korea's President Moon Jae-in on Thursday. Meanwhile, early on Friday, North Korea test-fired 2 missiles into the sea of its eastern coast, the South Korean military has said. It did 6 such tests in less than a month. The 2 unidentified projectiles, were fired about 08 hours and 23 hours GMT. As on Thursday, and traveled 230 kilometers, 140 miles, reaching an altitude of 30 kilometers, 18 miles. South Korea's Joint Chief of Staff has said. Now, 6 days ago, North Korea fired a 2 short-range ballistic missile into the Sea of Japan East Sea. Now, the series of tests comes after U.S. President Donald Trump and North Korea leader Kim Jong-un agreed during a meeting in June to restart denuclearization negotiations. Now, North Korea has faced international sanctions for its development of nuclear weapons. In a speech marking Korea's liberation from Japanese rule, President Moon vowed to unite the Korean Peninsula by 2045. So looking at 26 years on, now Korea divided into two countries at the end of the World War II. And President Moon said the goal of achieving denuclearization on the Korean Peninsula was at its most critical juncture as talks between North and South appear deadlocked. A new Korean Peninsula, one that will bring peace and prosperity to itself, East Asia, and the world awaits us, he said in a televised speech. I bet you the women listening to me will not like that tune playing in the background. In a statement, the North questioned the meaning of dialogue when, even at this moment, South Korea continued its joint military exercise, and to speak of a peaceful economy and a peaceful regime, it has no right to do so. In an extended attack on President Moon, the statement continued, we even question if his thoughts process is sound when he mentions talks between North and South while playing out war scenarios that plan to destroy most of our armies in 90 days. He truly is a shameless man. North Korea has expressed anger over the U.S.-South Korean military drills currently taking place, stating they violate agreement reached with U.S. President Donald Trump and President Moon. It has previously described them as rehearsals for war. In a recent letter to Mr. Trump, North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un is said to have complained about the ridiculous and expensive military exercise. But the problem is, it's not your money. The deadlock in denuclearization talks is entirely the fault of South Korea's decision to hold the drills, the North's reunification spokesman said. In a quote, he said, we have no more words to talk with South Korean officials. The official said in a statement carried by the state-run Korean Central News Agency. Wow. So we thought that maybe with the South Korean leader Moon, stretching an olive branch, we'll have the North Koreans just picking it or receiving it, and maybe we have a bit of peace from there. They say if you think that that's what's going to happen, then you might be living on cloud cuckoo land. But it's all coming from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In the development that is going on in North Korea, Hong Kong, a French climber known as Spider-Man has scaled a Hong Kong skyscraper and put up a banner urging peace in the city rocked by political unrest. Alan Robert unfurled a banner showing a handshake and the flags of Hong Kong and China on Friday morning. Hong Kong has seen months of anti-government protests that have sometimes led to violent clashes with the police. A 57-year-old known for climbing tall buildings worldwide said his stunt was an urgent appeal for peace. Perhaps what I do can lower the temperature and maybe raise a smile. That's my hope. Anyway, Mr. Roberts said in a media statement. Kudos to him. Whatever we can do to bring about peace in this part of the in the part of the region, we have to do so. Saturday UK a quarter past 12 the time, and so in the next 15 minutes I bring the first part of the program to a close, and we have our money man joining us. In other development, we have R. Kelly misses court hearing in Chicago after refusing transport. I think R. Kelly has missed a court hearing with prosecutors claiming he refused transport from jail. The R&B star was due at a pre-trial hearing for his sex abuse case in Chicago, Illinois on Thursday. Now, Kelly's lawyer said it was not 100% true that the singer had refused transport, but explained that moving Mr. Kelly is a large undertaking. The singer is currently facing several state and federal charges of sexual abuse in the U.S., which he denies. The accusations include sexual assault, abuse of a minor, making indecent images of minor, racketeering, and obstructing of justice. Well, whatever the situation is, we hope that the truth comes out. Starr Radio UK station. Now moving on to Africa to look at some of the stories making the round. Zimbabwe's main opposition group has called off anti-government protests in the capital, Harare, at the last minute. That is after failing to overturn a police ban. However, protesters who had already gathered in the city were violently dispersed by police. Several were hurt. The opposition said the ban exposed the fascist government true colors. The demonstration was called in protest at the government's handling of the economy, but police said they have evidence it could turn violent. There is a heavy police presence and the city center is subdued with most shops closed. About 5 million Zimbabweans are in need of food aid according to the UN. Police announced they were banning the protests on Thursday evening. The opposition movement for democratic change (MDC) applied to the High Court to overturn the ban, but it was upheld by a judge on Friday morning, thus bringing about a quell or a turn around when it comes to this demonstration or a calling off. Story. A senator in Liberia, I'll bring his name to you in a jiffy, has agreed to take a pay cut and donates $10,000 monthly to constituency. And somebody say, wow, why not? We know that Donald Trump does that though. Okay, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let me bring you that story and then we'll move on. Okay, so Abraham Darius Dillon, a Liberian lawmaker, has unilaterally opted for a pay cut in the light of economic crisis that the West African country was facing. And he is like, I can afford to pay myself, I can afford to serve the people without taking anything from them. Lawmakers currently earn in the region of $15,000, but Dillon says he has asked to be paid $5,000 monthly, with the remaining $10,000 going into development of his constituency. The opposition senator recently won a by-election beating the ruling party's candidate, said he will take a third of what is currently being earned by his colleagues, with the 2/3 going into social development. At an introduction ceremony on Thursday, he said, during the campaign, I announced that we will fight to reduce our salaries. I announced today that considering the economic crisis Liberia is going through, I, Senator Abraham Darius Dillon of Monstario County, will only accept a salary in full sum of only 5,000. Any amount over this will be deposited in an escrow account to go towards social development program of the country. I urge my colleague in the legislative, executive, and judiciary branches to kindly consider doing same. But someone said, well, it's because he has got much money to go around. But if you don't have, then what do you do? Well, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's now 10 minutes. That's in the next 9 minutes time I will bring in the first part of the program to a close. You want to join me, feel free to do so. You can talk about the knife crime chicken box campaign that is going on, the government has unleashed, and the criticism that is following that. People thinking, oh, you're targeting the black community, blah blah blah. What is all that about? Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, let's move on to some other stories making the rounds in Ghana today. Now, those who lost bank jobs have found new work, Deputy Employment Minister has said. UNDP to use TCAT 7 to advance sustainable development in Africa, and then former GJA President Laos Herbert Mensah, others for supporting journalism development. And the MTN Heroes of Change final slated for Friday. But to some of the political stories making the round this morning, a Pratt Bako ticket for 2020 to break MPP NDC stronghold. How feasible is that? Okay, and then Ekufuado cut sword for construction of Tamale Airport Phase 2, and then PDS Saga Information Minister rubbishes minorities petition to the US. Ghana India Kofi Annan Center used 2 million without approval. Whew. Okay, that's some of the stories making the rounds there. But let me bring you this interesting story. The statement says, I know of a minister of state whose daughter lost her voter ID after the last election and has vowed not to renew it. Reason? She politely asked the dad, what's there to vote for? Interesting. And I know a female MPP sympathizer, a fairly rich woman, who in the last election paid for the marginalized in her area to travel to their hometowns to vote, and vote well. Only 6 months ago, she told me, I won't vote again. Someone who heard of her resolution attempted to persuade her to vote against MPP. Who? NDC. Is it who? NDC? They are worse, she hissed, but added with a tone of regret in her voice. I could consider them if they had any other candidate but Muhammad. Interesting. In a scenario not unrelated to political choices, I listened to Samuel Kujachwa Blakwa on the City FM and Joy FM last Wednesday night in interviews concerning NDC's letter petitioning the United States to probe the PDS ECG saga. Even his worst enemies know that I have respect for his sharp brains. He lost that on Wednesday besides his unconvincing line of reasoning. He totally misconducted himself. His answers betrayed a party in desperate need of a straw. But what was most revolting was his direct attack on the journalist's integrity of the interviewer, Umar Rusanda, that intelligent young man who anchors the City Eyewitness News merely because a journalist is punching holes in your arguments does not make them a spinner sympathetic to your political opponent. I shuddered to imagine this politician on BBC Hard Talk program. But much as I disagreed with Okudza-Blocker on the PDS affair, however, I had no grounds to dismiss his remarks about the incumbent president penchant for exonerating his appointees who have had to face probes. I raised my fist to Professor Kwame Kakari for his recommendation during the Joy News interview this week. I am of the opinion that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is, by his deafening silence, denting his image as a human media rights advocate and erasing his own history in anti-corruption crusades. Now, what can justify his government's refusal so far to release the report of the Ayawaso West War gun shooting probe, for which the country engaged some of the finest minds of the land? The delay only crystallizes suspicion that some MPP ox may be in danger of being gored. Nothing justifies this delay, Mr. President. Nothing. Now, while criticism is not necessarily equivalent to a voter decision, I have learned that the likes of Professor Kakari, Pastor Menso Otabil, Chief Imam Shaributu, Imanis Franklin Kujo, etc., do not necessarily vote on party lines. They belong to the floating voter population, that percentage of voters who swing election results with their like-minded neutral mass. I repeat my opinion about Ghanaians. They may look tame, but they don't allow anybody to take them for granted. Now, what pisses them off is impunity. And I dare repeat that if impunity came with a stench, Ghanaians will be blocking their nostrils against many of President Akufo-Addo's 110 ministers and other appointees. Free SHS fine, but President Akufo-Addo is squandering the precious goodwill of the 2016 election. If nobody is telling the president that Ghanaians are discussing alternatives only 3 years into his rule, nothing lasts forever except the love of God. So here comes the question: is there a credible and viable third force in Ghana politics? I believe there is. It may be in the CPP, and all the party needs to establish this position. All the party needs to establish this position is only 5% of the votes in 2020. With 5% of both the NDC and the NPP will gasp. The CPP will become the kingmakers. I believe that only two personalities in party can swing this margin for it. They are Kwesi Pratt and Kweku Baako. Now, Ghanaians love and hate them with equal intensity, because often their debaters cannot stand the superiority of their argument. Since Kwesi Pratt has had a stint of parliament level, he lost only because he was stabbed in the back by the Alliance. And since he is 1 year older than Baako, I tip him to be the flag bearer with Kweku as running mate. Unfortunately, both of them are fancies. As a counter, the CPP can play the religious card. One is Muslim, one is uncumbered. Now we need a third force in this nation. Forget the America and Britain have two-party tradition. By the voting patterns of Westminster and Capitol Hill, it is obviously that unlike most of Africa, party affiliation does not sit on top of nationalism. Independent-mindedness cushions them against the evils of two-party dominance. It's the invincibility that breeds impunity. Now, people cite President Hillary Liman's loss of the budget vote in the Parliament of the Second Republic as proof that we can refuse to toe party line. Read Political Scientists. they will tell you that vote was fingered by the president's own party financiers, who fear that if Limam opted for IMF oversight, they could not exploit the important licensing and administrative control system. I am certain that outside of Pratt's Baku ticket, the CPP has very few credible options. And on that note, I bring the first part of the program to a close. And I say thank you very much for tuning in to listen to us today. It's always a pleasure. But don't go away, because I'm bringing you no other one but the one and only Dan Tabiri. But stay tuned, enjoy this song whilst I come your way with that.
Maria. Yes. I supposed to marry her.
What else? I'm gonna be pumping.
Maria.
Another guilty beat.
I supposed to marry her. I just want to know, baby, do you ever think of me anymore? Baby, do you? Me see, I just want to know, love me, do you ever think of me anymore? Love me, do you?
Baby, do you miss me? What else? I'm gonna be pumping. I know say me that you know be together, but sometimes I the wonder if you remember that. We used to talk about the way we go marry, nobody for come between us, man, they will be walk on back. Do you ever think about the sex? Do you ever think about going back to your ex? I hope some boy for fun him I was stressed. Everything happy for a reason, but do you regret? Do you miss me? Meaning saying me kinda risky. I don't wanna cause trouble, I'm a little tipsy. My dream home I feel when I make you try whiskey. I can't imagine life without you when I'm 60, so I just wanna know how you feel. I don't say you move on, but me there still. Girl, I miss the Netflix and chill. Me, I just wanna keep it real.
I just want to know, baby, do you ever think of me anymore? Baby, do you? Me see, I just want to know, love me, do you ever think of me anymore? Love me, do you? Do you?
So if I wanna see your face, would you wanna? Yes. I swear to God, I remember start a drama. If you know the night, tell me, cause me get ready for karma. Oh yeah, me born me swimming treat will come back. Yes. Me that you had connection on the level. Me need with me no your phone, no be the devil. Uga me no mama ta throw it to the pebble. Me name some party, I won't be trouble, but what high. And mama never call about the beach. Yes. 12 o'clock and I do me never until the streets. I walk high. West life, no more that repeats. My fear no. Where with the cado another sheet or the high. Into quantity getting in between. Yes. Me need with me no to make it pay within. I don't even know where to begin. I
just want to know, baby, do you ever?
Okay, so that is Starr there saying "Do You" featuring Mr. Easy. Okay, I'll bring you more of that at the tail end of the program, but don't go away. Now, let's join our money man, and today we're looking at inheritance tax. You have your kids, you have your family, you want to leave some of your your property to them. Does it come with any tax system or anything? Well, enjoy it, and I'll be with you. Stay tuned.
We did talk about the gifts, and we did say that inheritance tax on gift is paid by the person who receives a gift, not the estate.
Yeah.
So if in your lifetime, if you give a gift to someone and the tax becomes payable, that is if this is applied. If the person dies within 7 years and there's tax implications, then the person who received that gift is the one who pays the tax on it.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we also did say there's no inheritance tax to pay if there's a gift between spouses. So if you give a gift to your wife or your husband, inheritance tax does not apply, whether you live 7 years or not. Okay. And also, we say that other gifts count towards the value of your estate. So that £325,000 exemption for inheritance tax, anything after that, you pay tax on it, and the gift counts as part of that estate as well. Okay. Now, we did go through a few gifts which are exempted. That is, apart from giving to your wife or your spouse, what you can give out that will not have any tax implications on you. First of all, we say you can give a wedding gift of up to £1,000 per person. 2,500 is the person you're giving it out to is a grandchild, or £5,000 for a child.
Please take it again. Come with that one again. Yeah.
Okay. So wedding gifts.
Yeah.
Wedding. This is pertaining to wedding or civil ceremony gifts. So £1,000 per person. So you can give £1,000 to anybody at all.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a family relation. Okay.
Yeah.
If the person is related, i.e., a grandchild, you can give up to £2,500. If the person, the gift is given to is a child, is your own child, then you have an allowance of £5,000 to give out without any tax implications.
Okay.
During things like Christmas or birthdays, usually we give out gifts to our loved ones and our relations. Normal gifts out of these are also exempt. So if you give, so long as it's within, all this count within the £3,000 gifts in a year. Okay.
To a person or in total?
In total, you have a £3,000 allowance to give away to anybody else apart from your family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So all these small gifts count towards that £3,000 allowance. Now, these small gifts should not be more than £250 per person. Okay. So if you break it down, then you can give up to about 12 people £250 each in any year without any tax implications.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we look at the 7-year rule. So we said that if in your lifetime, if you give a gift and you live more than 7 years after the date you gave that gift, there are no inheritance tax to pay.
Okay.
And if you happen to live less than the 7 years, then the tax that is charged is on a graduating scale. So, for instance, if you live less than 3 years, you pay 40% tax on it.
Okay.
If you live between 3 to 4 years, then you're looking at 32% tax. 4 to 5 years, 24%. 5 to 6 years, that's 16%. 6 to 7 years, 8%. And then over 7 years, 0%.
Okay.
So the longer you live after you've given the gift, the tax,
the lesser the tax.
The tax comes down, yes. So this really lends itself to inheritance tax planning.
Okay.
If you have some assets to, there are some people who might have some, terminal illness, unfortunately, and they know the situation with their health. With this, they can plan their inheritance better to mitigate the taxes that go. If you're alive, you're healthy, sometimes obviously it's difficult to know what's ahead.
Start dishing your stuff out.
Exactly, it's a mystery.
Mm.
But even where there's no certainty as to when death will come in,
Yeah, yeah.
you still have to put some measures in place
Okay.
to yeah.
Okay. Okay. Listeners, listeners, this is Star Radio UK, your favorite Afro-Caribbean radio station. Is just a quarter to 1. At 1 o'clock exactly, we'll be having Mr. Kofi been coming your way with Star Sports. But we have Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy, our money man, with us. And we're having a look at a continuation of the inheritance tax. And we're talking about gifts. A few questions have come in, but I will let him land and then I'll put those questions across. But if you want to ask any questions, you're allowed to do that. But remember, the program finishes at 1 o'clock. Yes, Mr. Tabiri, please go on.
Right. Yeah. So also we need to look at the situation where someone is living outside the UK.
Okay. Yeah.
Dies. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is someone whose permanent home or domicile is abroad.
Okay.
Inheritance tax is paid on your UK assets.
Okay.
So if you have assets here in the UK, you only pay tax on those assets that are here.
Okay. There was a question that one of the listeners sent in and was saying that he said I have a property in the Caribbean worth about £1 million. Now he's asking that should he die, and I mean whoever takes what he what do you call it, he wills it to, would that person have to not he's just saying that not his partner or the wife, but whoever he wills it to, is the person going to pay tax on it?
Right. So I'm assuming this person is resident here in the UK.
Yes. But like what we do, we build houses back home and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let's build a house to the tune of about £1 million.
Yeah. I mean, if you're resident here in the UK, you're and as we said before, in when it comes to taxing your estate when you have passed on, the tax is accessible or due on the estate itself, on the person who has died.
Yeah.
So what happens is, if you are a resident in the UK, then all your assets, whether in the UK or abroad, is part of that estate.
Wow.
And so, yes, it will be subject to inheritance tax, as if the property is here in this country. If on your passing, if in the foreign country you are also liable for tax in that country,
yeah,
they have an inheritance tax system.
Yeah.
Then we'll have to look at whether UK has a double taxation agreement with that country.
Okay.
If that is in place, then whatever tax that you pay overseas, you get a credit over here as well, so that you're not taxed twice.
Okay. Wow.
But definitely you are liable for UK tax.
Wow. So the question that is just going on in my mind now is, how will the authorities here know that you have a property back home if I have not told them that I have any property there?
Well, nothing is a secret. As you say, if you have a will, obviously these properties will be stated in your will. If you've made a will, and so it's not something that can be hidden. And in this day and age, where you have to disclose everything to the taxman before they find out, because if you don't disclose it and they find out that you have some foreign assets that you've not declared, obviously it's tax evasion.
Okay, there's a second question that has been sent in as well. The person is saying that, now assuming I inherit the estate of my father, okay, which is up to it's above the threshold that I need to pay tax now. More than 350, then I need to pay tax now, and I don't have the money to pay that tax. What happens?
Well, like I said again, the tax is assessable on the estate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the estate will be charged. Whoever is the executor of that person's estate will have to be able to find the money to pay the taxman. If the assets are such that they are not, whatever is in the assets which is in monetary form or can be easily converted into monetary form to pay the tax, then it has to be paid. Whoever has, if the estate does not have cash to pay it, then whoever has inherited the property would have to basically find the money to pay the tax off.
Wow.
Because that tax has to come off the value of that property.
So that means
that the person has inherited.
Yeah, the worst case scenario will be that to sell the estate.
Exactly. The first instance is to find out whether there's cash resources in the person's estate to be able to pay the tax. If there's no immediate cash resources, then we would have to sell the properties to be able to pay the tax, and then the rest of the money is shared out to the beneficiary.
Wow. Wow.
But definitely the taxman would take his first.
So is it even good to inherit? Okay. Mr. Jeffrey, please go on. Those are the questions that came in now, so you can please go on with your submissions, please.
Yeah, so things that, tax, it's not paid on inheritance tax is not paid on things like foreign currency accounts with the bank or the post office, any overseas pensions, holdings in authorized unit trust and open-ended investment companies abroad. Here in the UK. If you are a person who is living outside and you have any of such assets in the UK, these are not taxed on your inheritance.
Okay, if you are living outside and you have those things here.
Yes, if you are living outside and you have those things here, they are not. But any other properties, you will definitely be taxed on.
But let me ask you one question. Now, somebody says, I'm not a British, okay? I have my property here. Okay?
You are not British.
Yeah,
okay.
He's not British, but he's bought properties. He has properties here. And he dies, he wills that property to maybe his kids who live here.
Yeah.
Would they have to pay tax on it as well?
Right. So the person is as we say, will define as domiciled outside. He's not a UK resident. He lives outside the UK.
Yeah.
But he's got properties here.
Yeah.
So the tax on those properties are assessed on the person's estate. Even though the children are resident here, the tax is attached to the person himself, not the children.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. So long as the properties are taxable, yes, they will have to pay the tax on it.
Wow. Wow. This is mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's inheritance tax is quite a big issue for wealthy individuals because if you don't plan it properly, you end up paying a lot of tax, unnecessarily.
So would you advise that people should, if you are wealthy, though you know that you are still fit, give out your properties, start giving them out to your kids and your family? Why?
No, not really. It's important to assess each person on their individual cases. Look at their family life, their family situations. Sometimes it's even tax efficient not to pass on properties to your children because perhaps they are already themselves, they are high earning individuals and they have assets of their own. Sometimes you have to skip a generation and go down to the grandchildren or the great-grandchildren. So it really depends on each individual situation. You have to take a lot of things into consideration, whether they have spouses or not, whether the spouses themselves have other assets, and there's so many things to consider. That's why it's important that if you find yourself in such a situation where you have a lot of assets on your hand, get advice, get the right advice, and get your inheritance issue sorted.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Tabri.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Now I think our time is almost up, but let me see. I don't know whether we will have to continue this because there are few people who want some more questions, some issues still addressed on that. Because another question that is coming in is, now you were talking about if somebody has got they are domiciled outside the UK, and they've got a bank account, cash in in the banks, maybe call it whatever amount, $1 million plus. Now, if they pass, now is it going to be that the bank is going to take anything from it? Assuming like in the case of the building as well.
Now, with the bank accounts, okay, what I said was if you have a bank account that is in sterling account in the UK, let's say you are domiciled in Ghana, for instance, you're not a UK resident, but you have a a sterling account in the UK, that will be taxed.
That will be taxed.
That will be taxed. If you have, let's say, a dollar account or a euro account in the UK, that in respect of the UK, that is considered a foreign currency account.
That will not be taxed.
Will not be taxed. Yes.
Wow. So if then all that people have to do is to convert all their monies into.
Well, that's tax planning right there.
Ah. Okay, that's a last question that has come in, please. He says he doesn't want to pay any tax at all. So what's the inheritance tax at all? He doesn't want to pay that. So what should he do?
Well, if his estate is less than 325,000,
less than 325,
then he doesn't need to worry.
Okay. Wow.
If his estate is more than 325,000 pounds, then he needs to look at some inheritance tax planning. He needs to be a professional.
Wow. Okay, Mr. Tabri, I think our time is fast spent. I will let you put your details across so that listeners, I mean, if you have any further questions, please contact Mr. Tabri. He's going to put his details across. He is the CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. Any account issues, anything related to the money, please get in touch with him and he will make sure he helps you out. He will advise you if he has to. Okay? So please, Mr. Tabri, your details, please.
So my contact details, my telephone number, if you want to speak to me, 079 6124 8834. 079 6124 8834. And my email address is dan@gilaccountants.com. dan@gilaccountants.com.
Okay. Mr. Tabri, I want to say thank you very much for that opportunity again. But we promise you that next week we will be on time so that we'll be able to address all the issues.
Yeah. So thank you very much. Next week we would look at any fallout, any questions coming through still on inheritance tax.
Okay.
And then we will move on to other areas of tax as well.
Okay.
Very interesting topics coming up. So I entreat listeners to tune in, and especially those who have properties, portfolios. We would be looking at some changes happening in the market.
Okay.
So very interesting weeks to look forward to.
Wow. Thank you very much, Mr. Tabri. You have a lovely day. Okay, so that was Mr. Dan Tabri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services for you this afternoon. Inheritance tax. If you have any questions, there was a caller who came on but couldn't get through to you. Unknown person that if you want to share with us, you can send us a message, you can text, you can WhatsApp, whatever it is, whatever questions that you want answered. Contact Mr. Dan Tabri
or you can send it to Starr Radio UK. Our email address is info@starradiouk.com, or you can text or WhatsApp at 07539661744. 07539661744. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So, this is why I bring the program to a close today. Let me say thank you very much to Mr. Dave West Maestro. I hope you are doing very well. Thank you very much for joining us as well. And then to all of you, Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, Reverend Dr. Francis Okonuno, Mama Eugenia Nuno, my bishop himself, Reverend Dr. I call him Reverend Dr. Apostle Bruce. Yes, I say thank you very much. And to every one of you who tuned in today to listen to him. So Laimi Koike all the way in Trafalgar Square, near the Nigerian High Commission and everything. I say you all have a wonderful weekend, because you know what? Your weekend starts from nowhere but here. Okay, let me bring you the song and I bring the program to a close. But remember, this evening exactly at 7 o'clock, Nane Afia Sawarkoto will be coming your way with the Afia Show. Stay tuned. Wuta says, Brunya, Christmas. Enjoy it.
Yeah, baby, I like the way you shake body.
Bye-bye for now.
I get money, and then you make my uncle. Yeah, I swear I lie. So woody make sure you don't go sorry. Forget your worry. I don't come to spend so lash your money. What? Yeah. Yeah, bro, I enjoy, bro. Yeah, bro. Ah, yeah, bro, Friday, oh you will confirm me quackoli. Magi me pay, me compare baby I kwashakoli. Minti wu pace, obi ampaka asembesi. Me tu kokobi, me babe swako fia kochi. Hey, yaro, yaro, yaro. Many, Kurajo many, Wabina Gigi Weni, Abuba Gigi Weni, Emre Papa Bini, Ain't Shiji Weni, Dishi Weni, Kindi Buji Weni, this is Shiji Weni, Yabu Nada,